I would now like to welcome Gail Smith to the stage to introduce His Excellency Dr. Boni Yayi.
Good morning, everybody, and a special welcome to our guests from Africa and to our colleagues in the G8 who have done such extraordinary work over the past many months. During the course of the day, you're going to hear a lot about something called country plans. Country plans that were the foundation upon which the commitments made by the G8 at L'Aquila were built. Country plans that are now in place in 30 African countries and have been replicated in Haiti, Bangladesh, and Guatemala. Country plans that are here because of the work done by the African Union. The African Union has made development a priority. Its leaders have committed to increase their public expenditure on agriculture to 10%, to strive towards a 6% growth rate in agriculture, and to see every country on the continent have a strategy for food security that addresses everything from hunger to markets to production to natural resource management. It is fitting that the African Union has elected as its chairperson a man elected by the people of Benin and a man who brings to his presidency and his chairmanship his own expertise in and commitment to development, spending time in his career before assuming the presidency, among other things, running the West African Development Bank. I hope that you will join me now in welcoming to the stage the chairperson of the African Union, the President of the Republic of Benin, President Yayi. Thank you.
Good morning. How are you? I'm very happy to share this time with you. It is a great day for us on behalf of Africa, peoples of Africa. I'd like to thank you, to thank my dear President Barack Obama, the government of America and people of America, and the other members of G8. It is very important for this issue of food security and nutrition. Okay, I'd like maybe with your permission to go in French on behalf of the diversity of language in the world. Are you ready? Can I go? In French. My interpreter is there, I think. He will do a good job. Excellence, Mesdames, chers amis.
Excellencies, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen.
Je voudrais remercier le gouvernement américain et les organisateurs de cette rencontre pour l'heureuse initiative qu'ils ont prise en plaçant cette session du G8 sous le signe de l'Alliance pour la sécurité alimentaire et la nutrition.
I would like to thank you, the government of the United States and the organizer of this meeting, for the very productive initiative that they've made in associating the G8 meeting with also this meeting on advancing food security and nutrition security.
Okay.
Je leur sais infiniment gré de m'avoir invité à ma qualité de président en exercice de l'Union africaine.
I will forever be grateful to them for having invited me as the chairman of the African Union.
Cette voix que vous entendez, mes chers amis, est celle d'un continent de plus de 22% des terres cultivables mondiales.
This voice that you hear from me is the voice of a continent with over 22% of arable land,
celle d'un continent de plus de 30 millions de kilomètres carrés,
a continent that covers 30 million square kilometers.
soit 10 fois l'Europe,
In other words, 10
10 fois
times Europe,
l'Inde,
10 times India,
4 fois les États-Unis,
4 times the territory of the
3
United
fois la
States,
Chine.
and 3 times that of China.
Il s'agit de la voix d'un continent qualifié de scandale géologique, comme vous le savez bien, mes chers amis.
My voice is that of a continent that has been called a geological scandal, and in terms of mineral resources, as you know very well,
Avec
dear
ses
friends.
ressources minières, ses ressources minérales et ses ressources agricoles.
With so many mineral and agricultural resources.
C'est la voix d'un continent qui sera le plus peuplé dans le monde aux environs 2050, avec plus de 2 milliards d'âmes, avec comme particularité 60% de jeunes de moins de 30 ans.
My voice is that of a continent that will be the most populated in the world around 2050, with more than 2 billion persons, and of which 60% are young people with under 30 years of age.
C'est la voix d'un continent, donc c'est la voix d'un continent d'avenir et d'espérance.
This is thus, ladies and gentlemen, the voice of a continent of the future and hope.
La nouvelle Afrique est résolument décidée à lever le préalable au développement.
And Africa is definitely in the way for having made the decision to undertake the obstacles for development and move on.
La consolidation de la stabilité, de la paix, de la sécurité, de la meilleure gouvernance dans tous les domaines.
And Africa has decided to consolidate stability, peace, security, and to show the best governance in all possible areas.
L'option de cette démocratie qui nourrisse et qui s'investit à combattre la corruption, l'impunité et s'efforce de reposer sur les principes d'obligation de résultats et d'obligation de reddition des comptes.
This is the option that democratic Africa has made in order to fight corruption, impunity, and also to base everything on the principles of expected results and accountability.
L'évolution actuelle du continent africain, malgré quelques soubresauts, reste favorable à la démocratie et à l'alternance au pouvoir.
And although there are some obstacles, the present course that the African continent is pursuing is favorable to democracy and alternance of tendencies in power.
Les peuples africains comprennent que la bonne gouvernance est un facteur important de développement, au même titre que les ressources humaines, et les ressources financières et autres facteurs de production.
And the African peoples understand that good governance is as important a factor for development as there are financial resources and other factors of production.
C'est pourquoi l'Union africaine a adopté la Charte africaine de la démocratie, de la gouvernance et des élections, à laquelle de plus en plus de pays adhèrent.
And that's the reason why the African Union has adopted the African Charter for Democracy and Good Governance and Elections, and more countries are now adhering to this charter.
L'option de plus en plus ferme des dirigeants africains pour le renforcement de la démocratie et de la bonne gouvernance constitue l'expression de leadership nouveau qui se manifeste sur le continent.
And the fact that more and more African leaders are strengthening democracy and are imposing good governance is the expression of the new leadership that is now seeing the day in the new continent.
Enfin, la nouvelle Afrique s'investit à construire son unité dans la consolidation des institutions fortes et leur réseau au niveau continental, les communautés économiques régionales, et construire des réseaux d'infrastructures, énergie, routes, chemins de fer, etc., sans oublier les stratégies régionales en matière d'éducation et de santé, avec à la clé les régimes d'assurance maladie universelle en zone rurale.
And finally, the new Africa is investing in order to consolidate strong institutions and all over the continent and to create regional economic communities, to build infrastructure, energy, roads, railroads, without forgetting the regional strategies for education, health, and as a result, new health insurance regimes in the rural areas.
Mesdames et Messieurs, dans le processus d'édification d'une Afrique unie et solidaire, la quête de la prospérité collective a conduit les dirigeants à élaborer une stratégie continentale de développement à travers le nouveau partenariat pour le développement de l'Afrique, dont l'une des composantes essentielles est l'agriculture qui doit jouer un rôle central dans l'amélioration progressive des conditions de vie des populations.
In the process of building this united and solidary Africa and to search for collective prosperity, the leaders of Africa have developed a continental strategy for development through the new Partnership for Development, the NEPAD. And one of the important components of this strategy is agriculture. It must play a central role to improve conditions and the lifestyle of the populations in Africa.
Okay, I'll let continue because it is too, please, time is over, but told me. I'd like to say that hunger elimination and nutrition scaling up are a challenge for the whole humanity. In this respect, during the Millennium Summit in 2000, the international community set itself the objective of reducing of half by 2015 the number of people suffering of hunger and malnutrition. Food insecurity potentially one of the main sources of conflict worldwide and in the African continent. According to available statistics, by 2100, 10 African countries will be listed among the 20 most populated countries in the world. By 2025, cities such as Ouagadougou, Niamey, Mogadiscio, Kampala, Lilongwe, and Antananarivo will have their population doubled. In 2035, half of the African population will be living in urban areas. The answer to issue raised by such a rise in population lies in the priority to be granted to agriculture, which will have to feed a more and more numerous urban population and to create jobs for the youth when the farming productivity is still poor in Africa compared to the rest of the world. Such an answer requires a coordinated approach based on the pooling of effort and means. Africa, as far as it's concerned, is working more and more to devise its own solution to agricultural problems. To this end, the head of state and government approved in 2003 in Maputo, Mozambique, the Comprehensive Agricultural Development Program in Africa. This program revolves around basic principles reaffirmed in 2009 by the World Food Summit in Roma, as well as the G8 Summit in 2009 at Aquila, Italy. Among such principles there are the adoption of national plan for investment in agriculture, devoting more than 10% of the national budget to agricultural rehabilitation, a comprehensive approach of food security, which includes the summit to humanitarian assistance, sustainable agricultural development nutrition, the pursuit of financial resources mobilization. On this basis of this comprehensive global agricultural program, the member states have drafted national program by formulating plan for investment in agriculture and food security based on factual data. Thus, inspiring from the Comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program, at least 20 African countries have increased significantly their budget commitment in real time. Furthermore, the African Union had also carried out additional initiative for the mobilization of private funds to finance the African agriculture through the initiative Grow Africa, a partnership means for mobilizing private sector resources around national investment plan so as to maximize the public resource contribution. Besides, the African Union and African countries are carrying on their efforts aiming at improving small farmers and agricultural producers access to funding in order to attract other forms of private investment. Many countries have committed to strengthen their political, budgetary, financial, and institutional reforms with a view to ensuring food security in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, the resources devoted to the founding of a comprehensive African agricultural development program remains insufficient. We therefore hope that the new alliance to increase food security and nutrition will contribute to making up the funding deficit. This new alliance with African countries will, however, deserve to be built from the Comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program and the initiative Grow Africa. The implementation of this alliance will reinforce the commitment made by the G8 summit at Aquileia in 2009 for food security. What we experienced recently in the Horn of Africa and what is currently happening in the Sahel region are the very illustration of the fact that the deployment of sustainable and long-term efforts for food security is preferable to emergency food assistance, which is more expensive in the long-term run from a political, human, social, as well as economic point of view. Besides, the rise in world food prices will keep on undermining the effort displayed by Africa to reinforce food security. The Comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program favors the establishment of targeted social protection programs to mitigate the impact of the excessive volatility of food product prices by granting a particular attention to nutrition. Ladies and gentlemen, it is up to us to work gently so as to avoid that food security and malnutrition become a social destruction weapon. It is for the interest of us, and I firmly believe that with an increased political will, we can achieve it. That's why, on behalf of African Union, I extend my greeting and congratulations to the United States for the G8 chairmanship term of office, and my thanks to President Obama and all G8 countries for having placed the food and nutrition security in Africa at the forefront on the concern of King David for Summit. African impatiently expect the implementation of a new alliance which will be a means for combating hunger and malnutrition, promoting investment in the agricultural sector, improving the agricultural productivity, participating in the economic growth, and ensuring an increase in revenues, especially in rural areas. I thank you very much.